This episode of the Home Pros Radio Show podcast is brought to you by HomeBinder, the premier home management app. Receive home maintenance reminders, organize your home's inventory, manage your home improvement projects, and more. Stay tuned to get a free upgrade code for HomeBinder worth over $200.
The Home Pros Radio Show.
I'm Tommy Donovan with RIC Home Inspections, and this is the Home Pros Radio Show podcast. What do you get when an unfortunate carpenter has a mishap with a nail gun? A talk show host with a slew of corny jokes. Also coming up in this episode, we help a listener who's weighing his options before building a deck on his home. And we have a new Closing Contractor Mystery Sound, which inspires a number of good guesses from our audience. We're going to kick things off right now with a call from this listener who turned to the Home Pros for help with diagnosing a mysterious moisture stain in his wall.
Scout's telling me to shut up, or we have a caller. Looks like we have Scott from Lyman. Good morning, Scott.
Yeah, I have a water spot problem. We moved furniture yesterday, and right on the wall, on the drywall, there was water spots about 3 feet long and about 4 inches wide that was coming right down near the studs inside the wall. And on the other side of that wall, I happen to know is where my AC's refrigerant lines are.
Uh-oh.
I'm wondering how the best way is to go about investigating and handling them.
That's a good question, because we're going to probably have to open up some drywall, don't you think?
Yeah, I think we're going to have to. Whichever side of the wall is easier to get to and easier to repair in a location that wouldn't be seen as often, well, a less conspicuous area, I think you're going to have to open it up. I'm assuming there's probably some insulation missing from the actual line sets.
Okay.
You know, and it's just going to be condensation coming off that line set.
Yeah, and which could also be pointing to the fact that maybe there's a concern with the HVAC system.
It's quite possible.
Because a lot of times whenever you see HVAC ducts that are sweating profusely, whether it's on the ductwork or it'll happen on the refrigerant lines, especially this time of year, you're running the cooling system, and if it's cycling on too long, you can get an excessive amount of moisture components like that with your HVAC system. So aside from your question there, Scott, that'd be something to think about is, once you get that taken care of, maybe have the HVAC system looked at, if indeed that is the cause of the moisture. But yeah, open up your drywall, go from stud to stud, get a stud finder, and then, open it up. And what I would do, too, is it a vertical stain?
It is.
Okay. If it's a vertical, I would start at the top.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Your studs are probably 16 inches on center, maybe.
Right.
2 foot on center. And just cut a strip out away like that. And
go ahead
and inside.
Cut it bigger than what you think you're going to need to. That way you can go ahead and get and address the entire problem. And that way you don't have a lot of different holes to patch. You just have one big hole to patch.
Right.
That's why he's saying cut stud to stud, and I'll just go ahead and cut. That way you can put that one piece back in and be done with it.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, thanks for the call. I appreciate it very much, Scott. Yeah. Well, by the way, Scott, do you have a stud finder?
I do.
Okay, good. Just checking to make sure. Because that's a tool a lot of people don't have. They don't know what to get. Maybe that's something we can talk about, type of tool to get.
I thought there was a joke there.
Oh, there just might be. I might just be setting one up. Thanks, Scott. I appreciate the call.
I was waiting for it.
My wife used to have one.
Yeah, she doesn't need one anymore, right?
Until she met me. All right.
All kidding aside, it's very important to get to the bottom of any kind of evidence of unwanted moisture in your home. So kudos to Scott for taking on the challenge of opening up that wall. It can be very intimidating at first, but it's always better to be spending more of your time and a lot less money restoring a small section of drywall rather than doing the opposite with a moisture issue that will eventually get out of hand. Now a challenge for you. Can you solve this next puzzle, which is related to an item we tend to use when controlling moisture in our home? Listen closely as we roll the audio on our Closing Contractor Mystery Sound.
We want to hear from you if you have an idea of what this is.
The Closing Contractor Mystery Sound.
What could that possibly be? I think I forgot.
A metronome.
I think I forgot to take the metronome off again. How did I not hear that?
I like the metronome.
That's what I get for editing the sound at 2 a.m. So give us a call. Let us know what that is. All right? Oh, we got a call. We call already. Doris, what's going on this morning, Doris?
I'm just calling about the noise you were playing.
Oh, you know what the mystery sound is? Let's take a quick listen to it real quick.
The Closing Contractor Mystery Sound.
Please listen carefully.
All right, Doris thinks she has it. What is it, Doris?
I think it's a garbage disposal.
Oh, you have?
That was definitely a good guess.
It does sound like a garbage disposal, but it's not. So,
Okay.
Yeah, but thanks for the call. What are you up to? It says Doris is driving. Are you driving while you're talking to us on the phone?
Yes, I am.
All right. Well, she's multitasking, so we're going to let you go before you hit a tree.
Speakerphone.
Oh, good. Excellent.
Good job, Doris.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah. We got Robert from Hendersonville on the line. Good morning, Robert.
No, I'm just guessing at what that sound was.
What is it?
I think it's someone flushing a commode.
And survey says? That's not quite it, Robert. That's a good guess, though. Keep go. He was guessing it was a toilet. Let's hear it again.
The Closing Contractor Mystery Sound.
Please listen carefully.
We go right.
Hey, it's Brain from Greenville. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Brian from Greenville. Hey, Brian.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good morning.
So what
Yeah,
can
I
we
just
help
wanted
you
to make
with?
a guess on what the sound was.
All right, Brian. What is it?
A coffee or a hot cocoa dispenser.
Oh, man, that's a good one. I need to record that for a mystery sound. That's not quite it, though, Brian. So, yeah, sorry. Let's go to Bill. Bill, he's from Greenville. Good morning, Bill.
I wanted to take a guess.
But the mystery sound.
Mystery sound.
All right, yeah, let's hear it again. Here it comes. All right, what do you think that is?
I tell you, it sounds something like I've heard very often enough. It sounds like a garbage disposal that's not working, just spinning its wheels.
Oh, no, that's not it.
No?
That's a good guess. No. We've had two garbage disposal guesses this morning, but
I didn't hear those. So.
That's all right. Yeah, but you know what?
Wow.
We had a couple good guesses. Somebody was thinking
garbage
it was a dishwasher.
disposal.
Yeah, and a dishwasher drain. What was the other one?
One that came over on Facebook was actually a water dispenser from a refrigerator. Which
that's
wasn't.
A good one. That's a good one.
That's
That's a good idea. Write that down.
You could go record that tonight.
I wanted to do one of the ice cubes falling out of the tray into the bucket, and
right.
I can't fit in a refrigerator to get the recording. It's kind of hard and cold. So
That would be a little chilly trying to get it, and dark.
That's it. It was kind of funny because I was going to a home inspection yesterday, and I was like, what we haven't done a mystery sound of is this, right? So then I get there, I get to the house, homeowner comes out, is like, perfect timing, I just fixed this. I was like, good, because I need one for my mystery sound.
Good, because I needed it working so I could record it.
Yeah. So anyway, from the news, we've got some news stories for you coming up. But first, I want to know if you know the answer to this.
The Closing Contractor Mystery Sound.
Please listen carefully.
Kind of sounded like me after our cookout the other night.
Oh, boy.
No, I'm just kidding. So, Tommy, how you feeling today? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, can you tell us what that is? We got a call from Linda. She's from Greenville. And your guess there, Linda, is?
Flushing the commode or the washing machine draining water.
That is a good guess, but... Oh, no, wait. I'm sorry. Wrong button. Bad aim this morning. Gee whiz. I'm sorry about that, Linda. But, yeah, it is not that. But it's a good guess. I'm going to write that down as another good guess. But,
okay.
All right.
Thank you,
thanks, Linda.
Thank you.
All
Have
right.
a good day.
You too.
Right, thanks. Yeah. Maybe I need a button finder. That one good. Good.
Yeah, she actually threw a couple. Because she also asked
She
about
said
the
tub drain, right?
She said the washing machine. Draining.
Washing machine.
Washing machine draining and the toilet. So both of those are not correct.
We can rule those out.
Yep.
So what could it be? This is the anticipation of building. Not funny. All right? All right, just for you. All right?
Thank you.
Smart Alec.
I'll be here all hour.
I was at a house this week where I was walking around with my phone recording stuff because I was doing new construction and there were like contractors everywhere. I was like, ooh, do that again.
Pull that button.
Yeah. Can you cut one more board for me, please? And they're like, who the hell are you? Yeah.
Who's this strange guy walking around asking us to make all these noises?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, looks like we got a call, and it's William from Gowansville. Morning, William.
I'm calling about your mystery sound.
All right. All right.
Play it again, please.
Yeah, sure.
The Closing Contractor Mystery Sound.
Serious. All right. Have an idea what this might be?
Well, it sounds different over the telephone, I can tell you, than it does on the radio.
Yeah.
At first, it sounded like a vacuum cleaner removing water from a basement or from a spill.
Oh, he's getting close.
You're right on it.
He is close. You want to take another?
Okay, so it's in the drain family. All right. Thank you.
All right. Thanks a bunch. All right. Take care. He got close.
Yeah, he is
getting close.
If anyone heard that, he is very close.
For those of you playing the home game, take your notes. If you're taking your notes, you're narrowing it down.
You should have it narrowed down pretty much to it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's see. What else we have? Linda. She's calling back from Greenville. Is it the same Linda?
Yes.
All right, what is it? Another guess?
You're draining that big utility tub in the basement.
The utility tub? What kind of utility tub? How's it work?
I think you're on it, Linda.
Basement, you're draining it.
Yeah? Should we give it to her?
I think we'll give it to her. I think she's right on it.
Linda. I love it, Linda. That's right. Way to go. Well, what that sound is
long.
Yeah, it seemed longer that time for some reason. Is it raining outside?
It must be.
It's a sump pump. It's the float or the water raising up and the float lifting. The
pump kicks on and sucks it all out.
So, Linda, we're going to hang on to your phone number, give you a call, and let you know how you can pick up your Home Pros Radio Show prize pack. All right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Right. All right.
Thank you, Linda.
All right.
Have a good day. Talk to you later.
Okay, all right. Thanks. You too. Do you have a stud finder?
This episode of the Home Pros Radio Show podcast is sponsored by HomeBinder. There is no better way to organize paint colors and home documents, get maintenance reminders, receive email alerts of appliance recalls, and share valuable information about your home with potential buyers. For a limited time, use promo code HOMEPROSRadio, all one word, to upgrade to our premium edition for the life of your ownership. Visit us online at homebinder.com or simply click on the link provided in the show description of this podcast. HomeBinder, a homeowner's best friend.
Now we hear from Ed, who's weighing his options on his deck design. He calls in to ask for our feedback on some of the critiques he's heard on this relatively new decking material.
We got a call. Look, it's Ed from Morganton. Good morning.
Morning, guys. How you doing?
Good morning, Ed.
Doing all right.
I want to put a new deck down, flooring on my deck. Mm-hmm. And if I can float alone enough, I want to use Trex materials, which is, I'll do it once and that'll be it.
Mm-hmm.
Are the 16-inch centered floor joists enough to keep that from warping since it gets so miserably hot and sunny down here?
That's a good question.
I'm going to say yes. That's just the standard framing there. So I would say yes. I wouldn't trust like a 24 on center, but I mean, you go 16 on center, I would say you're good.
But I saw in some situation that the Trex, in fact, warped, and it was just like a roller coaster up and down. And I didn't know if you guys had any, information about that, if you've had any contact with it, or if they've changed the stud size or the joist size, on that.
No, I know there are different qualities of that material. There's different companies that make it. There's probably different thicknesses of it and all. You might want to check into that before you do it. Obviously, don't skimp and go with the most thin just because it's the least expensive, because then you're going to end up with the problem that you're having, and you'll probably end up spending more money going in, adding the extra framing to support it than what you're saving on the material itself.
if it can be saved after it warps, it's true.
Correct. Yeah, and then at that point in time, it's too late. Yeah, you got to go back in and rip it all up and start over.
Have you guys used any of the Trex materials on any of your jobs?
Projects?
Yeah. We don't do a ton of decks, but yes, I have used it some. I like it better than maintaining a deck.
Yeah. Having to resurface and all that.
I mean, to be honest.
And another thing that I think would be important to point out, too, is, I've seen it on home inspections where I'll see the decking looks like it's warping. Like you were saying, Ed, kind of looks and feels like a roller coaster going across the deck.
Right.
That'll prompt me to go underneath and go, okay, how are these joists attached? Because it could be that maybe that every other joist or you have a couple joists under there that are not adequately secured to the rim joist of the deck. A lot of times, especially on decking, I'll see some shortcuts being taken with fasteners, with joist hangers where there might be nails missing or the hangers might not be properly sized. Yeah. So, those are just toe-nailed, which for many years, that's how we would attach the butt end of our joist to the rim joist. We would just toe-nail them in. Now that's not recommended because we've learned that those nails will pull out. So sometimes a situation where the Trex material looks like it is warped or failing, it can actually be related to the joists and their condition. So that's another thing to consider.
Yeah, a lot of times it does go back to the actual framing of the deck itself.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, I appreciate your help, and we'll see what happens.
Well, we appreciate the call, as usual.
Good luck.
And finally, we have an unfortunate contractor whose nail gun misfires, and before you know it, his story makes the national news and provides us with a reminder of the importance of taking proper safety precautions with your power tools.
Interesting story in the news.
What is it?
A carpenter from Colorado is recovering after he nailed his hand to a roof.
Sounds painful.
Firefighters rescued him from atop a home in northeast Colorado Springs where he had been installing fascia and soffit boards. This, according to Fire Captain Brian Vaughn, who also reported that the man shot a 2.5-inch nail through his finger. Wow! I don't know. I'd have to retire after that. And was anchored to the structure, quote unquote, on the first floor. At least it was on the first floor overhanging the roof. Firefighters removed the nail from the roof, helped the man down, and sent him to a hospital. I don't know why they finished the story with this, but this is the fire. I would be like so mad. The fire department recommended reading Occupational Safety and Health Administration pamphlet on nail gun safety. I'd be like, get out of my face. It's like, that's just about as bad as somebody going, I told you so.
They said, maybe you ought to read up on this.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he probably learned his lesson.
Here's some instructions. Well, it could have been worse. The nail went through his finger, but he was actually pointing at the fascia. Paul liked that one, didn't he? He was stuck on the roof. But if it weren't for the fire department getting out there quickly and rescuing him, he could have gotten shingles.
Oh, boy, you're just full of them today.
Well, this is good, clean fun. Most radio hosts would have taken it straight to the gutter.
And that's all the time we have for this episode of the Home Pros Radio Show podcast. A quick reminder that we've made it easier than ever to access every episode of our podcast thanks to the Home Pros Radio Show app. You can download it now on Google Play and at the Apple App Store. It's the most convenient way for you to participate in the show, as you can like, share, and display feedback for the rest of the Home Pros Radio Show community to see. Also, we invite you to join and participate in our weekly live broadcast as it airs every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 94.5 WGTK The Answer. And you can catch us on Facebook Live as we broadcast our video feed through our live studio camera. Catch us on Facebook at Home Pros Radio. For my co-host Shane Hips with Closing Contractor, I'm Tommy Donovan with RIC Home Inspections. We appreciate you joining us, and we'll catch you next time on the Home Pros Radio Show podcast.
Thank you for listening to the Home Pros Radio Show. If you have a question for the Home Pros, visit us online at homeprosradio.com, where you can contact us directly and also learn more about the topics and guests we bring to you each week. It's the Home Pros Radio Show online at homeprosradio.com or on the radio at 94.5 WGTK, The Answer.